hours. Like, fuck it. I don't do that. I'm gonna go away. And Macaulay's fingers are still defrosting.
It's another week of 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pennell alongside Pat Garianis. Pat, how nice is it to actually have the sun out this hour?
It's incredible. I didn't think we were going to see it today, but finally creeped through. And you're right, it's just got the feeling of spring finally, although it's pretty windy.
Yeah,
but, you know,
windy.
The sun being out still at 7 o'clock is a great sign. I like that.
Yeah, we woke up this morning, it looked like the mist from 2007. All right, we got a lot to talk about on today's show. Of course, we got to look at the Muscle Move Foundation 5K, which is coming up this Saturday. We will have Rob DeMasi on a little later in the show. We also have to look at, of course, the rankings for Division I and Division II baseball, softball, and our players of the week, also girls soccer.
Yes, we do. And, you know, it was another week where some games got played, but we're still not in that prime time for the weather, so that'll be coming up here shortly.
Yep. Of course, we want to thank Gary and Nick of Hooters for allowing us every week to have their show right here at the 136 Astro Shopping Center, the Hooters in Newark, Delaware, right across from the YMCA here on Kirkwood Highway. Come on out. Of course, support 302 Sports Weekly, but also try some of their award-winning wings.
That's it. They're pretty good. I'm not going to have some after the show, Benny, not to not to give away any spoilers or anything. But once again, we say it every week, Ben. Get involved with us. Get involved. Okay, we had some talk last week on Twitter with the rankings. This week, more of the same, not so many comments, but a lot of retweets and likes and whatnot. We had a couple players of the week that got nominated by some of you guys out there. That's what we want. We want you to get involved. Send us stats, scores, highlights, anything you want to see us talk about, we'll bring to you if you shoot them to us at 302sports.com. and 302sports@gmail.com. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at 302sports. Get involved in our weekly poll question on Twitter. Also follow us on Snapchat now, sports_302. And make sure to come out here and support us here at 136 the Astro Shopping Center here at the Hooters of Newark. Take in the show, and you never know who's stopping by.
Of course, this is a big week for Delaware. Not only does Paul Warliff sign with the Philadelphia Eagles, we also have the MVP of the National Championship game.
MOP. Outstanding.
MOP, excuse me, of the National Championship game. NCAA's very own, of course, Villanova's very own Dante DiVincenzo from Salesian. 31 points for him, 5 boards. He was a monster out there.
Benny, let me tell you something, all right? It took me back to 2015, I believe it was, his senior year. He put on a performance and carried a team unlike anything I've ever seen before at Salesian. He went vintage senior year at the Bob Carpenter Center mode. on Monday night with the 31-point performance. I mean, it was something that us here in Delaware were used to seeing, but the national people were not. And you saw it on Twitter with everybody hitting them up.
Of course, joining us on the show, as always, Mike Lyon, Jason Winchell. Let's talk about that, Mike. The performance from Dante DiVincenzo in the championship game for Villanova. He was the difference in the game. You take DiVincenzo off the court, Villanova does not win that game, or maybe it's a lot closer than what it was. Talk about his performance really quick, because it was so outstanding.
Well, not only the shooting, he scored 18 points in the first half.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the notes here. Just 2 blocks were huge. The one he pinned against the backboard and almost grabbed it with his other hand on the way down. And then the second block, which was maybe the defensive play of the tournament, straight up 2-handed block on Michigan. It was unbelievable. He was finding open guys, assists, blocks, rebounds, and the points. And you see his name now associated with perhaps testing the waters to the NBA draft. I'd like to see him go back to Villanova and start and lead a team without Brunson and perhaps Bridges and whoever else comes out from that team. And just, I know there's a risk of injury, but I'd love to see Dante. It's selfish perhaps on my part because he's right up the street. We can go see him play. We can watch him on TV all the time. And it was the coolest thing about Monday. We talked about it before the show, Pat. We're watching a game. And you know the guy. You know the guy. I covered his high school career. I've interviewed him 24 times probably. You know, you see him at Sally's basketball. I've seen him at volleyball games. You see him around. It's just like, it's so cool to see somebody you know. Because the game, let's face it, Villanova really dominated. So objectively, it wasn't a great game competitive-wise. It was so much fun to watch because we know Dante and I'm so happy for him. And for Villanova, just to see that was awesome.
No, you're right. To think, 5 years ago, I was playing pickup games with him outside at Del Rec and stuff, throwing him alley-oops at the little Bob left and right, and all the college kids were like, "Yo, man, what college you go to?" He goes, "I'm only a junior in high school." It was pretty funny. But Jay, they're talking about the pros with this kid now. Athletically, I think he's got a shot. He can maybe develop the game a little bit more. But what are you thinking as far as his pro chances?
They're good. I'd like to see him improve in certain areas, especially on the defense end, which you saw the other night. He's gotten a lot better since the beginning of the season. And that's probably why he wasn't starting at the beginning of the year. He wasn't starting this year. It was because of the defensive presence. Now he elevated in that game, and he's very athletic. I mean, he does stuff that is really good out there. But to me, some of the passes he was making all tournament long were unbelievable. I mean, he was finding people underneath the basket, and to go with his three-point shooting, I like to see him improve the free throw shooting. 70% is not bad.
Yeah, it seems to be his kryptonite a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, I remember a game against Smyrna where they were down the point and he got fouled with no time left and went to the foul line and missed both free throws. And he's gotten a lot better since then. So I think that had a lot to do with him getting better at the foul line.
Now, of course, one of the underlying, themes from our questions so far in our conversation has been, will he go pro or not? Is Dante the kind of guy to break the one-and-done trend? And of course, I want your thoughts, Mike, as well on one-and-dones in and of himself.
Well, I think, just a gut feeling, I think Dante's back on the main line next year. He can benefit. He should be a starter for that team. I know he was the sixth man of the year in the Big East, but he still has 2 years of eligibility left. We know he missed most of his freshman year with the broken foot. He's got some work to do. I know there's a risk involved. I would like to see him come back from a selfish point of view, and I think it would be good for him from a basketball standpoint. One and dones, I'd like to see the kids be able to go to from high school to the pros. College is not a minor league for the NBA. If the NBA wants some place to develop these leagues, put them in the G League or make yourself a minor league. The college game is not there to develop pros. Theoretically, I mean, you get down to the basic level, that's not the purpose of the NCAA. So if they want players developed, send them to Europe, develop your own minor league.
We have some breaking news, actually, believe it or not. We're talking about
Speaking
Dante.
of one and dones.
Yeah, we're talking about Dante. Talking about one and dones, the former Delaware native that went to Duke University this year, Trayvon Duval, has declared for the NBA draft.
We don't know if he's signed with an agent or not. I don't know if that's
so. And that's a good
he's
point.
not signed with an agent.
That's a good point,
absolutely.
Mike, because you can do that now. And I wonder if Dante will do the same thing where you'll test the waters, you'll go to the combine, not hire an agent, hear from some of these NBA execs about where you're going to get drafted, and then still go back and play another year of college basketball. You can only do that one time while you're in college. The next time you declare, you have to go into the NBA draft. So it'll be interesting to see if Trayvon goes through with this, because, I mean, he'll be a lottery pick. He's been a lottery pick all season long. Let's see if Dante decides, well, you know, my stock is high. Let me see what they're going to say.
Real quick, just the one and done thing just got me started.
Yeah.
There's no other profession other than football and basketball where you're forcing a kid to go to college who maybe doesn't want to be there, doesn't go to class, has no interest in going, maybe not even qualified to go to some of these schools, but he's being forced. Now, I know a couple high schools are playing in Europe. Maybe that's going to be a new trend. But if I could write, if the New York Times offered me a job out of high school, I'd be silly not to take it. You know, if you can play music, if you can do any skill, and somebody offered to pay you to do that, why should you be forced to go to college to do that?
The NBA has this G League. They're trying to promote that. This is the way you promote it. You allow kids to sign a contract with the G League, these elite guys that are coming out of high school. They're allowed to get paid legally and not have to deal with any of that headache. And then within a year, they could go play in the NBA.
And currently, the G League is basically a not quite good enough league.
Correct.
It's not a developmental league.
You can turn it into that developmental league now.
Yeah, a lot of debate about that, and of course, that's not the purpose of Radio 2 Sports. It was just a question I had, but congratulations, Trayvon Duval, for declaring, and of course, congratulations, Dante DiVincenzo. We will keep our eye on what
Peyton Heck from Archbury. I don't want to leave him out. Practice player for 2 years, made the varsity roster this year. And those practice players, they don't get the credit they deserve.
No, we don't, because I was that in high school.
But somebody's got to play the opponents in practice, and guys like Peyton Heck did that. He's getting a ring.
He is, man. Congrats.
There you go. Well, we go from the hardwood to the pitch for girls soccer. Our top 10 for girls soccer in Division 2 right now. Only 2 games played for Caravel. They're number 1. Tower Hill at number 2. DMA jumping up from 5 to 3. Newmont Charter staying pat at 4. Some shakeups towards the bottom. Archmere dropping back. Ursuline stays pat. Friends moves up. Delmar comes in from unranked. Sussex Academy, despite being 2-0, they're 2-0. They're number 10. They were unranked. Of course, dropping out is Lake Forest and St. Mark's there, and Indian River dropping back after a loss. Some scores from last week: DMA beating Archmere 3-0. Alyssa Ruggieri, of course, had 2 goals for her. Caravel beat Appoquinimink 2-0. A big deep Division 1 win for Caravel. Of course, Friends of Wilmington Christian, and some upcoming games as well. We have DMA and Friends, Caravel and St. George's Tech. Those going down on Friday and Tuesday, respectively. All right, let's get back to that Caravel game, Mike. 2-0 after beating 2 top 5 teams.
2-0.
2-0 after beating 2 top 5 teams. Won a Division 1 team. How important was that win over Appoquinimink?
Well, it's a huge win. Caravel, to me, is the favorite in Division 2, and they give up Apple 19 shots. 19. The City Cal blocked every single one of them. The girl is incredible. She's a wall. To me, if you're a Division 2 team, you look at Caravel, and they just took out Appo 2-zip. I looked at the roster for Caravel today. 3 seniors. 3 seniors on this roster. 7 juniors. 9 freshmen or 8th graders on the team. And their leading scorer, Olivia Sapo, is in 8th grade. So they're set up. To me, they look like a team like Animal Cross or something like that, where the best players, that's where they want to go, because they're going to be good and they're going to develop. So congratulations to the Bucks. And that Sydney Kell, they might not give up a goal all year the way she's playing.
So we just revealed the top 10. Obviously, saw a lot of changes going in this week. Which change surprised you the most here, Jay? Because there was a lot going on.
Sussex Academy. There's a school that has not been around long. They get in last week. They're playing a top 10 team in Lake Forest. They pull off the upset. They're 2-0. I think they won 2 varsity matches the last 2 years.
Wow.
So they're off to a great start and deserve the ranking, I think, to beat a team like Lake Forest, who just tied Ursuline last week. So it tells you what type of talent Sussex Academy has down there. And it's good to see a school that's really small, that has like 90 kids, to get it in a program like that and get that in the top 10 in 302 here.
A la Polytech in football this year, trying to turn from a team that has not won a lot of games into a a playoff team potentially.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, it's great to see that go down. All right, so a couple of matchups coming up this week, Mike, as I'll repeat them again. DMA versus Friends. Caravel gets another D1 game against St. George's Tech. Let's talk about the game. What makes that matchup, Caravel, St. George's Tech, one that is must-see TV?
Oh, I want to see Caravel. To me, that's the reason you go watch that game. No offense to St. George's. Caravel's so good, and they're so young. And to me, to see that kind of talent, I mentioned Sapo. They have so many scores on the team, and they obviously have Keld in the back. So that's why I would go see just to see them. I know St. George's is a good team. I would see the Caravel against. I looked at their schedule. Their schedule is incredible. Caravel's another Division I team that's a good team in St. George's. That's why I'd go watch that one. Didn't have it on my list of games, but it is a good one.
Hey, all right, Jay, to wrap this one up, saw a couple teams that were unranked top in the top 10 this week. Is there anybody left that intrigues you down below the top 10 ranking that could potentially pop in here with a big win this week?
Even though Lake Forest dropped out, I really like them.
Okay.
They tied Ursuline. Ursuline's one of the better teams in Division II. They lost to Sussex Academy, whether or not, I wasn't at the game, so I don't know what went wrong with them. But I think they're a team talent-wise that will be back in the top 10. I think they're going to take like one short week, maybe 2 short weeks out, and then be back in the top 10. So I really like the way they play.
It's time now to move on to Division 1 from Division 2. Padua remaining at number 1. Really, 2 through 5 is the exact same with Middletown, Cesar Rodney, Wilmington Charter, and Appoquinimink staying pat there. Some shakeups towards the bottom. 7 moving up to 6 in Cape Henlopen. Doing a little bit of a flip-flop there. St. George's Tech drops down. Polytech, the non-ranked team, jumping in. Newark as out. Concord and Sussex Tech, they are 9 and 10 with Concord respectively. Of course, last week's matchup saw Padua crush Concord 7-0. Christy Cox had her hat trick there, the junior for Padua. CR was able to sneak by Polytech 3-2 in overtime. Appoquinimink beat St. George's 7-2. And of course, upcoming this week, Wilmington Charter will face Concord on Monday. CR and Padua will go at it on Tuesday at the Delaware Turf Sports Complex. Padua, they travel to Alabama, Mike. These 2 tough teams that has played more than 10 matches, while Padua has just played a handful, it only one there. Is this a disadvantage for Padua, or is it an advantage because they're still a little fresh in the early season?
Again, there's nothing that's a disadvantage for that team. They're one of the top programs in the country. They may not be ranked, but everybody in the girls soccer world knows who Padua is. They are a machine, and I don't care how many games their opponents have played. They're going to go down there. They may not win both games, but they're going to represent themselves well, and they're going to be better for the experience. We mentioned how many times during this basketball season these showcase events, and that's basically what this is. Nobody criticizes Ursuline or Conrad for going to D.C. and playing the She-Got game, and that's really what this is. And those teams got better there. Padua's going to get better in Alabama, and look out. They come back and they play Cesar Rodney, and they're going to be ready. They do have a lot of games in a short stretch of time. That's the only disadvantage I see for them, but it's going to be a good trip for the Pandas.
Early in the season, yet there's still some surprises happening out there, Jay. Which result from last week surprised you the most?
Not that surprised me that Appo beat St. George's, but the way they beat St. George's. That was a 5 versus 6 matchup last week.
Yeah.
And Appo beat them by 5 goals, 7-2. I thought that one would be more of that low-scoring, grinding-out game that Appo lost to Caravel a couple days later. But it shows you how talented Appo is. The fact that they put 7 goals up on St. George's Tech in that key Flight A matchup. It was an early season Flight A matchup, and it's a good win for Appo. But that result, a 5-goal win, really surprised me. I expected it to be a lot closer.
Next week, Mike, number 4 faces number 10. Concord coming off a disappointing game, to say the least, getting shut out by Padua the way they did 7-0. But a chance for redemption here, a chance to shake things up. Let's talk about the game on Monday. Wilmington Charter versus Concord. It'll be at Concord. Can you kind of give your opinion there, Mike?
Well, Concord's been off since, I took some notes in that game. They've been off since March 27th. The loss was against Padua. They did give up 7 goals. Charter's always good. Charter likes to open things up a little bit, so Concord's going to have to be a little tougher in the back line. But I think this, I wrote down here, that Concord wins or not, that's really going to determine, to me, whether they stay in the top 10. They really have a chance to beat a good Middletown team, defending state champion Middletown. So it's an important game for the. I know it's early. They haven't played since the 27th of March, so it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to take them a minute or two to get their bearings and stuff, but it's an important game for Concord.
Really quick, Jay, before we head to commercial, team outside the top 10 that could potentially make an appearance into the top 10 next week.
Oh man, that's a tough one because there's only 17 teams in Division 1, but it'd probably be the one team that dropped out, Newark. Newark played the two tough teams to open the season. We're not, fell on the short end of the scoreboard both times. But I think as they start playing more matches and get their bearings, I think they're a team that will get back to the top 10.
One sport with an S to the next. Softball coming up next. Our top 10 on 302 Sports Weekly is around the corner.
How's your windmill?
After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
It's time to talk softball now on 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pinella, Pat Garrianis, Mike Lang, and Jason Winchell. The top 10 in high school softball in the state of Delaware goes as follows. Again, no shakeups. 6 through 1 is the same. Indian River, number 1, 5-0 for Indian River. Milford, 2-0. They're number 2. DMA with one win, but it was a big one, putting number 3. Caravel still hasn't played a game, but they're still number 4 on the list. Newark Charter, number 5, and Lake Forest, number 6. They're both 2-0. A lot of unranked teams now moving up. Of course, not a lot of games being played, but a lot of shakeups still. Smyrna at number 7, Apo at number 8, Wilmington Charter at number 9, all 2-0, all not ranked from the previous weeks. Sussex Tech, they are 9th, dropping down to number 10. They were 9th, dropping down to number 10 after a 4-1 start for them. Of course, dropping out was Padua, Red Lion, and Delmar. That's because last week Padua took a beating from Appoquinimink, 17-2. Freshman Madison Bowery was 2 for 2 with the Grand Slam, 4 RBIs, 3 runs for her. Smyrna, they beat Sussex Tech 5-0. Abigail Mace hit a solo home run to the Eagles win. And of course, Newark Charter crushed Red Lion 14-3. Bella Hagan was 3 for 3, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Upcoming this week, chance for some more shakeups. Milford will face DMA, 2-3 matchup there tomorrow. Caravel will face Red Lion at 6 tomorrow. Indian River will face Smyrna on Friday, and Lake Forest versus DMA on Saturday. All right, Mike. Tons of changes in the top 10. Of course, we know why, but with some of these games, it's almost eye-popping the score differentials.
Yeah, Appo has, I think, 40 runs in 2 games. So I'd say they're laying the lumber, but the bats aren't made out of wood anymore. So they are.
I like that.
They just put. It's only 2 games. They crushed Padua, and they won their other game. I forget who they played, but I wrote that down somewhere. But they unbelievable start for Appo. A couple games I've been to has not had that kind of scoring, but obviously somebody's doing some hitting early in the year. A lot of offense this year.
Last week had a couple, Smyrna players banging on the table for their girls. So you got to pay attention to Smyrna softball. They continue to get the job done to move up into the tops, the top 10 at number 7 right now. Jay, what have they done so far that's been so impressive?
Oh, they've been impressive with their wins. They beat Delmar by 5 runs. Delmar was the number 1 team when they beat them. Then they beat Sussex Tech, another ranked team, by 5 runs, 5-0 last week. Abigail Mason's had a great year at the plate, along with a bunch of others. Smyrna's doing the job. They scored 10 runs against Delmar. They got a tough one coming up Friday against Indian River, the number 1 team. They already beat 1 number 1 team. Can they make it 2 number 1 teams at home Friday? If you have nowhere to be, get down to Smyrna Friday at 4:15 for that game. 1 versus 7. It's going to be worth the price of admission.
One of the games from last week was Newark Charter demolishing Red Lion 14-3. But a game in and of itself, they beat a ranked team. Still not enough to move them above a team that hasn't played a game yet in Caravel. Mike, kind of talk about why Caravel is still number 4 despite not playing a game yet this season.
Well, I think the history of Caravel, I think they were in the state final, and then I know the players who were in these early state finals have kids now. But it was like 16 straight years they were in the semis or the finals. I think in Caravel, because they haven't played in weather or whatever the factors have been, they do play it, I think, tomorrow night and against Red Lion, and it's Caravel. I can't see punishing them because Mother Nature has not cooperated. I think once you see them get underway, they'll prove that they're not overranked just because they haven't played a game yet. That's Caravel. It's a history thing. Until somebody proves otherwise, they got to be in the rankings.
Once again, Jay, we've seen another sport where teams are jumping in and out of the top 10 and early on in the season. Is there a team potentially outside the top 10 who maybe we're overlooking that could potentially move themselves into the top 10 next week?
And don't laugh when I say this. Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant is off to a 2-0 start, and they have a dominant pitcher, a freshman, who's gone in and hasn't given up a run in 2 games, 2 shutouts to start the year against Archmere and St. Thomas More. They have the offense. Last year they didn't have the pitch. This year they got the pitch. She pitches. She's going to have some good college looks. It wouldn't surprise me if she's playing in the SEC or Pac-12. She's that good. If you haven't had a chance to see Mount yet, go out and watch her pitch. She's fun to watch. She has a real good fastball and then drops a changeup that is unhittable when you're looking for that 60-mile-per-hour fastball, and then she throws that 30-mile-per-hour Uncle Charlie at you. Yeah. You're just sitting up there amazed.
Bugs Bunny.
Yes. So, like I said, I'm sure there's people laughing now. Pleasant. They're not known as a softball powerhouse. There's a team that I enjoy watching them play.
It's a classic pitcher right there. Fastball off the changeup off the fastball.
They're talking about Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny's a great pitcher as well. Beat the Ganghouse Gorillas. Great comeback.
Of course he did.
All right,
he played all 9 positions.
There you go. Milford faces DMA tomorrow, 3 p.m. It's a 2-3 matchup. Everyone's going to want to watch that game. Everyone's going to want to be a part of that game. What makes that game, going beyond the rankings, what makes that game so important for both of these teams?
Well, to me, it's Milford. I figured for sure they would suffer a little bit after they lost. They lost so many players from last year. They won a state championship, and they just keep winning. I mean, Regine Bowe graduated, and she's playing college softball. And she wasn't the only one. these girls could hit. They were a hitting machine last year, that Milford team. So I'd like to. I might make an effort to get out to Midway tomorrow and check that game out. It's I want to see Milford play. I think that they do a lot of hitting, and as good as it is to see pitching in softball, especially, everybody likes to see the long ball, and I think Milford can really put the ball in play. So to see them play DMA, I think it'll be an very entertaining afternoon.
A lot left to be done here, Benny, within the circle this upcoming week, so it'll be interesting to see what happens, man.
We'll have to see what happens. Of course, we go from the circle to the diamonds next when we take a look at baseball around the corner on 302 Sports Weekly.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
As I said, from the circle to the diamond on 302 Sports Weekly, time to look at the top 10 in the world of high school baseball in the state of Delaware. Caravel State had at #1 this week in the top 10, with Cape Henlopen and Freno still #2. Sally's #3 despite not playing a game again. Then it just kind of falls apart there. It's been madness this week. St. Mark's 6-4, Hodgson 8-5, Appoquinimink 9-6. Middletown jumps in from not being ranked. Same with St. George's Tech. Middletown 7, St. George's Tech 9. Conrad drops from 4-8, and Indian River jumping in from being unranked as well to the 10th team. Falling out is DMA, Newark Charter, and Smyrna. Of course, that's because last week, again, some crazy games. Appoquinimink beat Conrad 10-6. Javon Fields there, 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Caravel dominated Newark Charter 12-8 in a game that had a lot of offense. Ethan DeRigis had 2 hits and drove in 4 runs. Cape Henlopen beat Lake Forest 90-0 with Zach Geloff with 6 innings of no-hit ball while hitting 2 home runs himself, helping out his own cause. Of course, this week we will see Cape versus Middletown tomorrow at 2:30. St. Mark's will travel to Appoquinimink tomorrow for a 4 p.m. first pitch. St. Elizabeth versus Hodgson at Wilson Field tomorrow at 1. That'll be live. And of course, Indian River will face St. Mark's on Saturday. CR versus Newark Charter on Saturday as well. And again, that game will be at Frawley Stadium and on 302 Sports Weekly. Mike, the rankings took a beating this week. 3 new teams. Go.
Well, we took a beating last week because of the Middletown. I got a chance to go out and see Middletown against Concord. By the way, Concord better than people think. But Middletown put a lot of guys on base and struggled to score against the Raiders. They did win 3-0. I think they belong in the top 10. But to me, they need to bring those runs home, and they're going to get a chance. They play Cape Henlopen, so they're going to have to score off that Cape team, which has not been easy this year. So the one surprise that I see there, Indian River moving in, finished the year last year 6-12, and I know players changed, but they beat Polytech and Dover last year. So this year they have, this year they beat them. They lost to Polytech last season. So they have a couple impressive wins this year. So the Indians moving in, a little bit of a surprise to me with a 6-12 record last year. Good for them.
You talked about one team in there, Cape Henlope, and you talked about not being able to score. People haven't been able to hit them so far. 2 no-hitters in 3 games. Jason, is there anybody that's going to be able to touch their pitching this year?
They got 3 dominant pitchers, and that's all. If you have 3 dominant pitchers in high school, Austin Elliott threw a no-hitter last week, and Zach Geloff threw a no-hitter last week. Both were, and we said we were worried about Cape's offense this year. Both of those wins, they scored 10 runs, and the pitchers have done the damage on the offensive end too. Cape Henlope is going to be a team to reckon with this year because that pitching is unhittable. It reminds me of the St. Mark's staff last year, but they have 3 good solid arms that all have pro prospects and have been pitching great. Well, let's see. They get Milltown tomorrow. That's going to be a little tougher team than Lake Forest and Laurel. Well, let's see if they can continue the domination.
You mentioned St. Mark's, 3 games in 3 days, Mike. A big task for them. 2 games on Thursday in 2 different locations, 2 against ranked teams. That's a tall task for the Spartans.
Yeah, and Jason and I were talking about this today. They play at noon. The game is ranked out today. Noon at Archmere, 4 o'clock at Appo. That's about a 40-minute trip without traffic. So it's going to be interesting to see them finish up in Claymont, hop on 495, and zip down to Middletown. To suburban Middletown to get out there to Appo High School. Is there suburban Middletown? I don't know. But they do have, I know they graduated a lot of pitching last year. They have a lot of arms in that team. And Matt Smith has been doing this a long time, and he's been doing it well. They have a bunch of banners hanging on that gym, as you well know, Benny. He knows what he's doing managing a baseball team. I wouldn't worry about the Spartans. They're going to be just fine. Yes, they have a busy schedule coming up. They have 4 games in 3 days or whatever it is, 4 games in 4 days. They'll be fine. So St. Mark's is going to be okay. They need to hit a little bit.
Real quick, Jay, before we transition to lacrosse, Salesianum's taking a trip to New York to play their first 2 games of the year. What do they got to do to take advantage of that road trip up there?
Yeah, and Sally's is another team like Cape. They got some good arms, 3 solid pitchers. Ryan Campbell leading the staff, the senior. They're going to have to go up there and hit because these 2 teams in New York are both very offensive-minded teams. But I think if Sally's pitching is key for them, if they can get some timely hits, I think they come back with a 2-0 road trip.
When we come back from the break really quick, we will look at lacrosse in the world of Delaware high school sports. Around the corner on 302 Sports Weekly. Actually, no, we'll dive into that right now. Excuse me, sorry about that. Looking at the top 10 for lacrosse. Salesianum, we talked about them in baseball, making the trip with New York. They are number 1 for lacrosse. Cape Henlope at number 2. CR number 3. 4, 5 is Friends and Archmere. Number 8, there's Appoquinimink. Dover, they've dropped down 1 to 7 out of 6. DMA from 7 to 8. Polytech, the unranked team, jumping into the top 10. And Tower Hill, number 10 at 0 and 1. St. Andrews, unfortunately, falls out because this week, a lot of shakeups. Archmere crushing DMA 15 to 5. DMA then sneaking past Tower Hill in a high-scoring one, 10 to 9. Of course, upcoming games this week. Friends will be at DMA. Sally's at Christ School in Christ School in North Carolina. Saturday time is to be announced, but Christ is ranked 42 in the nation and 7-1 on the year. Archmere will face number 2 Cape Henlope on the road. Friends will be on the road against number 9 Polytech. Now let's go back to that Archmere game. They looked really strong, but got that trip to Lewis. It's not going to be easy, Mike.
No, it's not, but that's a veteran Archmere team. And they're good lacrosse players, and they're not going to be intimidated making that trip down to Cape playing in the big stadium. You know, they play on turf. Cape plays on turf, so there's no disadvantage there. You know, these kids know what they're doing. They're going to be fine down at Cape. Are they going to win? Who knows? You're scoring 15 goals a game. You got a pretty good chance. You just one team's going to need their goalie to stand on his head, and whoever gets a better goaltending, I think they come away with the win.
The Salesianum, they've dominated the state of Delaware for years now. They're going down to playing a 42nd ranked team in the nation, Jason. What do they got to do to continue their dominance not only within Delaware, but go down and get a national win?
Yeah, they've already played 2 out-of-state teams, one from Florida. They're 2-0. They won games 17-2 and 11-7, so they're doing it defensively too. you lose a guy like Mike Drake, so this year you're probably not going to be as potent on offense. So you need the defense to step up. They stepped up, and they're going to have to be at their best because Christ School is 7-1, ranked 42nd in the nation, and they can score some goals.
Friends is traveling to Polytech. It's a 4-9 matchup on Monday, one that fans might want to keep their eye on, Mike.
Yeah, it's Polytech and
Friends.
Friends Polytech. Yeah, that's on Monday. Should be a good one. Maybe we should try to do that for 302. But it's yeah, I haven't seen Friends yet right up the street from where I work, so it's a good opportunity. If I usually have a chance to go over and watch them. And Polytech has had a pretty good team the past 2 years. So yeah, it should be a good one. I really don't know much about either of the teams. Haven't had a chance to see any lacrosse yet this year. With this weather, it's kind of scrapped a lot of the games and changed the schedule around a little bit. So if that's over at Friends, maybe I'll sneak over and watch Little Lax.
That's it. A little bit of lax coming your way, Benny. This week's gonna be good.
This week will be good, and well, we also are doing a good thing on Saturday. You will be a part of it as well if you come out to the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll have Rob DeMasi join us on the show.
He began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his
Military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Life is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.com. The Hadley Group.
Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
From Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island, come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Soto Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Soto Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Soto Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations. From Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island, come check us out.
Wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
In home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pinello alongside Pat Garanes. And of course, this Saturday is the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K. Joining us on the show, of course, is the founder, Rob DeMasi, also Mike Durstein and Eddie DePiro. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
So let's talk about the 5K. How did the idea of the 5K come to be? Because some people may be tuning in now, fresh viewers, we get them every week. Talk about the 5K a little bit and its history.
So the 5K, this is actually our second annual this year. Last year, I had an opportunity to connect with Nick DeCare, a St. Mark's alumnus, and a co-owner of Fusion Racing down in Newark, Delaware. When I had an opportunity to speak to Nick, he informed me about how successful his races are across the state of Delaware. We thought it was a phenomenal opportunity to have all of our partners, all of our partnered schools, athletes, students, and businesses come together and unite as one team. And the 5K was probably the best opportunity for that.
You know, Rob, this event's at your alma mater, St. Mark's High School. Can you talk about just how important it is to have your alma mater, host this event and really back the Muscle Movement Foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. Annually, we work with St. Mark's High School. A lot of the sports teams throughout St. Mark's, and I've actually had the opportunity to speak to the entire student body. But St. Mark's High School is where I endured most of my misdiagnosis throughout high school. So all the fatigue, the weakest times of my life were endured in the hallways at St. Mark's. So to bring this life-changing event where hundreds of supporters will gather and cross the finish line with local individuals living with muscle disease is truly an honor.
Now, of course, tons of people have signed up, and Mike and Ed, I'm going to you for this one, guys. Tons of people have signed up already, and you guys have a lot of sponsors as well. As a matter of fact, there's going to be a lot happening at this event on Saturday. Can you kind of tell what people that maybe are about to sign up have coming to them come Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year is the first year we were figuring some things out. We had an awesome turnout, and we had so much fun. This year, I think we've added to that and really kind of parlayed that into a number of different things. A lot of people think about a 5K and they say, hey, I have to be a great runner or I have to go out there and run for time. Absolutely not. We call them participants, right? We're all there for a common goal to raise some money and really have a good time and raise some awareness for an awesome cause. So there's obviously the race where some of us will be running, some people are walking, and some people are there just to clap and support. So we really welcome people to come out and enjoy it in whichever way they see fit. Along with that, there'll be the after party, which is actually right there at St. Mark's. So you don't have to go too far for that. There's going to be drinks, going to be live music, silent auctions, you name it. We're going to have it there. So I think it's a really good time for folks from the area to see some people that they haven't seen in a while, and then also make some new friends and new connections. All while working towards that common goal that Robbie always talks about, and kind of supporting our overall theory as an organization that we want to move our healthy muscles for the people that can't, right? And use that as an inspiration to really raise some awareness for muscle-related disease.
Ed, you've obviously been a part of this with Rob now, a part of this 5K. Can you talk a little bit about how you came to be a part of this, the Muscle Movement Foundation and the 5K, and what exactly is your position, so to speak?
Well, I'm just an advocate for Robbie. Obviously, I'm into fitness a little bit, so Rob needed some help. That's what I'm all about. My slogan has always been for those who can't. So I just did the best I could and reached out to all my friends in the fitness community, and most of those will be runners. I'm a bodybuilder. That's a very rare 1% of the guys that can that are out there. So there'll be tons of my friends coming to run as well, and just there to support Robbie, man, just helping out. That's about it, man.
Awesome.
Rob, one of the great components of the 5K is the team dynamic. There's teams running. Of course, we are one of them, 302 Sports. Join us. We want to get as many members as we possibly can. But let's talk about bringing the team dynamic into things. Where did that come from?
So I think it came from just my roots. Since 5 years old, I've always been an active athlete, wrestling, football, track, baseball, you name it. And when I started the Muscle Movement Foundation, I really wanted to bring the aspect of a team to the forefront of the lives of our families in need. The team camaraderie, the support. Something that I've been able to get out of the weakest times of my life was rallying around my teammates, my coaches, my teachers, my family. And I always say that my number one team is my family, my friends, my coaches, my supporters, my nurses, my doctors. So we want to bring the power of team to the forefront of our families' lives, and that's what we're doing on Saturday.
One thing I've been looking on social media, I see it all the time, all the posts coming up about this thing, and it's really great. One of the most recent ones is you guys have kind of unveiled the course, right? And you went out and you made the mile markers. I saw on there. That's really great. Mike, can you talk about what this course is, the start-finish line, and where exactly we're going to be walking or running through?
Yeah, absolutely. And for anybody who knows me, they know I'm a little bit competitive. So, last year to make this interesting, and Robbie will tell you, me and some of the guys that we grew up with, we had some friendly wagers going on the 5K. So obviously I wanted to have the inside scoop being a board member on the course that we'd be running. So we're going to start in the front of the school at St. Mark's and run down the drive there, if you're familiar with the area, and into the Meadowwood neighborhood and make a nice little loop. So it's going to be interesting because coming back, you're going to be running mostly uphill to get back to the front of the school. So right when you're kind of hitting that point of being at your limits, getting a little gas, you'll be running uphill for that final stretch. But I think it's going to be an awesome course, right? You get to see a lot of the area, and then for me, spending some time at St. Mark's as well. Pretty cool to finish right there in the front of the school. And getting back to my earlier point, you'll be upstairs in the cafeteria and having a good time before you know it after the race. So we're excited about it. Yeah, I think that the course is going to set up really well. We're pumped for it.
Muscle Movement Foundation 5K happening this Saturday. Mike, back to you on this one. Let's talk about the folks that'll be on the course, and more importantly, the real champions of this, the muscle champions. Can you kind of talk to them and how much of a privilege it was to meet them for this event?
It's been an incredible experience. I'll tell you, knowing Robbie for most of my life and kind of going through some of this journey with him and not really understanding it at the onset, I don't think any of us did, and getting it to this point, it's so cool to see what the organization has morphed into, right? Because it's never been about Robbie. It's been about the other muscle champions, the people that we're really trying to support and help them out with their journey. So, last year we had some of the muscle champions get pushed and get to participate in the race. Something that they probably never thought they could say that they did is complete a 5K, right? So to be out there with the other participants and just to have them there, and for them to know that everything that we're doing is about them, right? There's really no bigger motivation than to know that everything that we're doing there, we're raising money, we're raising awareness, that's all going to the greater good. And it's for them, it's for their families, and to see the look on their faces and say, hey, this is for you, and learn a little bit about their story and some of the different ways that we can help them in the future. That's what it's all about. So I think that that's probably the part of it that I'm looking forward to the most. We joke about, who can run the best time and, what are we going to do after and all that stuff. But I think that, getting to see the look on their face and hearing about their experiences and how they look forward to not only the 5K, but some of the other stuff that we do throughout the year. That's what it's all about. That's what's the most fulfilling for me. It's just to kind of keep that moving and carry the momentum into everything that we can do through MMF.
And one of the great things about this event is there's a lot of sponsors involved. A lot of people put money towards this, put a lot of different things towards it, including, you look at the Philadelphia Soul, Philadelphia Union, the Oyster House, I know a couple other local businesses that are really involved in this thing. Rob, can you talk about how important these sponsors are to this thing and really getting it off the ground level?
Absolutely. Our sponsors are the backbone to the success of our organization. Just as anything, sponsors will drive our mission statement in the community. Sponsors help rally and spread a vital awareness around their own subcultures per se. And we're thrilled to have 4 champion sponsors on board this year. The first one's Biotech Remedies, which is a pharmaceutical company. Big special thanks to Carla Sparkler and her team over there. I actually utilized Biotech Remedies myself for immunoglobulin treatments for the treatment of my own myasthenia gravis, my own muscle disease. They have an on-site IVIG lab on site, and they also have an opportunity where they send nurses out to the home where you can get infusions inside the home. The second champion sponsor is Wilmington University, which I'm actually a proud graduate of. So it's phenomenal to have them on board. Wilmington University has been phenomenal, from having their students involved with our cause and our organization for accredited community service hours to rallying a 5K team for Saturday. The third one is Eastern Industrial Services Incorporated, and our last but not least is St. Mark's High School. So we're definitely blessed to have phenomenal support by way of our community.
All right, it's time to put a bow on this. Once again, Rob, Mike, Eddie, where do people go to sign up for the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K?
You can sign up, you can donate, you can create a team, join a team, sign up at www.mmf5k.com. mmf5k.com. Check out the teams we have there. We have fundraising teams. You can check out all of our sponsors. And if you follow us across social media, you'll see all of our raffle items and all the good things that we have planned.
Rob DeMasi, Mike Dristine, and Eddie DePiro from the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K. 302 will be there on Saturday. Will you be there as well? Join us on the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K this Saturday. 302 Sports Weekly comes back with the grand finale around the corner.
Thanks, guys.
Where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, to cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the Culinary Coast with 10 locations from Lowest, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
His career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Special thanks again to the Muscle Movement Foundation, Rob DeMasi, Mike Driscoll, and Eddie DePiero for coming on the show. Of course, this Saturday is the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K at St. Mark's High School.
Yeah, it's a 9 a.m. 9 a.m. start. You can walk up and sign up. That's when it ends, so you got to get there before the event. But please go online and sign in. And join Team 302?
Yes, join Team 302, and all the information you need is right here on the stream. I probably pointed to something over here, but you see on the stream, it's there. All right, it's time for the grand finale. Do you want to do the honors? You want to start this off?
You know what, Ben, since you're bumbling, fumbling, stumbling over there, I'll no doubt about it, I'll do it, okay? Let's start off with Goldie Beacom baseball. They split a doubleheader with a 6-0 victory and a 3-1 loss. That was at Doyle Field. Freshman Trevor Jump, 2-2 on the season for Mount Pleasant, was the story in Game 2 for the Lightning. He tossed a 1-hit shutout with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks, as well as sophomore Cole Collins from Sussex Tech getting himself 2 hits. 10-game homestand. Goldie Beacom will close Friday against Jefferson with a noon doubleheader.
Trevor Jump, congratulations. You're on the all-name team. All
yes,
right,
sir.
Goldie Beacom softball has announced its doubleheader Tuesday at Georgian Court. That's been postponed and will be made up this Sunday at April 8th at 1 p.m. in Lakewood, New Jersey. Of course, they'll be home on Thursday against Wilmington, Delaware. Of course, the College of Wilmington at 2:30 p.m.
Talk about the Blue Hen baseball program. They dropped the 4-2 decision against the University of Michigan the other day. Freshman Billy Sullivan, who's 3-1 on the season, pitched at St. Mark's, had the first 5 1/3 innings for the Hens. He allowed 3 runs. Freshman struck out 3 batters, earning his first career loss. Center fielder Kevin Mulholland went 3 for 4, while Andrew Wright, formerly of St. Mark's as well, reached base 3 times. In the loss, redshirt freshman Jordan Hutchins of Dover made his first career start as shortstop in that one.
Moving on to Delaware softball, the University of Delaware softball team rallied in the top of the 7th inning and fell just short. The Blue Hens dropped 5-3 decision to Towson Sunday afternoon at Tiger Stadium. Towson took the weekend series as the team split a doubleheader. And of course, on Saturday, Delaware will be at home versus Monmouth. It'll be April 4th at 2. That was actually earlier today at 3 p.m.
Wilmuse softball only played 1 game of the doubleheader due to rain. They won that game, however, 8-5 on Tuesday afternoon. Caitlin Whiteside improved to 8-4 on the year, pitching all 7 innings, allowing 5 runs on 10 hits. Rosalind Burton of CR, Davila, and Carbone all finished, all 3 players with 2 hits for the Wildcats, while Mirabella Claybert of CR led the team with 3 RBIs. Wildcats will head across town for their next doubleheader. They'll go to Goldie on Thursday, first pitch set for 2:30 p.m.
Moving on to Wilmington baseball, the Wildcats are 10-10, 7-1 in the CACC, swept the CACC Collegiate Conference matchup on the road at Jefferson, 6-3 and 5-2 at Alumni Field. Zach Rumford from Salesianum allowed 5 hits, 7 innings of work. Justin Mears came in with slammed the door, getting 2 groundouts before finishing the game with a strikeout for his 4th save of the year. Dakota Graham out of Dover led the Wildcats in Game 2, going 3 for 4 with a run scored, and Brett Knoll from Conrad added 2 for 3 in the nightcap. Wildcats come back to CACC play when they host Felician in another South Division twin bill at Wilson Field.
Let's talk a little inaugural Wilmue lacrosse as far as their season is concerned. This is their first year. Men's lacrosse, I should say. Their men's team scored 10 first-half goals en route to a 14-10 non-conference win at Davison Elkins. Dylan McCleeft led the Wildcats with 5 goals, while Smith led the team with 7 points, scoring 3 goals and having 4 assists. Noah Given of Apo made 10 stops in the victory, while John Howe of DMA caused 5 turnovers to go with 3 ground balls. They opened the road at Post on Sunday, April 8th in Waterbury, Connecticut. That opening face-off is set for 10 a.m., Benny.
Wesley College baseball, the team dropped the Capital Athletic Conference doubleheader to Mary Washington. Mary Washington scored 3 runs in the 3rd, 5th, and 9th innings to take the first game. Corey Dimitrich He, of course, from Cape Henlopen, and Kevin Schmidt tallied a pair of hits. Dimitrich drove in 2 runs and scored twice. Barton scored twice from the leadoff spot, Will Barton. Of course, him and John Joins from Hodgson registered 2 hits in the nightcap. Joins and Schmidt added an RBI in the loss.
Wesley softball, they struggled. They played a good team, though. The 7th-ranked Christopher Newport Captains lost the doubleheader in that one by the scores of 10-1 and 9-0. However, the Wolverines will be back at home on Wednesday. They'll host the Mary Washington Eagles. First pitch of the doubleheader set for 3 p.m. Prior to the games, the team will honor Wesley's faculty and staff. So get down there and check out that event.
And Wesley lacrosse rounds us out in terms of the college sports in Delaware. Of course, they suffered an 18-4 loss in the CAC to Mary Washington on Saturday. The Wolverines will be back in action at Jerash Field at Scott D. Miller Stadium on Wednesday when they host second-ranked York and the Spartans. The game is scheduled for 7 p.m.
That wraps up the local college teams. Let's talk about some local college athletes. We already talked about 2 with DiVincenzo and, of course, Duvall declaring for the NBA draft. Let's head to University of Maryland Eastern Shore, where Avery Tunnel of Dover took the co-rookie of the week on Monday. Turner went 5 of 14 from the plate with 357 average, included a pair of multi-hit games, 3 RBIs, including a walk-off that helped the Hawks defeat Norfolk State this past Sunday. In the course of the week, Tunnel raised his batting average almost 50 points and now stands at 207 on the year. 7 RBIs, 6 runs scored, and 4 stolen bases. So good for him.
Newman University has a pair of Delaware athletes playing for high school athletes playing for them. Kirsten Fallers from Padua went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored in the first game of their doubleheader. Of course, when they took a pair of those games against Cedar Crest College, 8-3 to 4-3. And of course, they gave them an 8-0 lead, did Fallers, in the 4th inning. Fallers would hit a 2-run home run in the last inning as well. And of course, Jen Semensky from Caravel picked up the win, going 7 innings strong, allowing 3 runs to earn on 9 hits, while Kane 5.
Let's go talk a little Salisbury softball. The Seagulls, they opened conference play with a doubleheader split against the University of Mary Washington in Game 1. They finished with 5 hits in the game, 3 of which came off the bat of freshman Sammy Mumford of Indian River. And then in Game 2, Rachel Milligan struck out a career-high 8 batters in the contest, working 6 innings in the circle. So good for her. Of course, Madeira Alexander led offensive effort 3 of 4, while Mumford continued her hot streak, going 2 for 2, and is now batting .500 in her last 10 games, Benny.
When you think of good things about Salisbury, you think of stake and you think of lacrosse as well. The University men's lacrosse team captured its 2nd consecutive CAC victory, defeating Southern Virginia 22-9. TJ Lunge from Salesianum was impressive, of course, in the win, winning 6 face-off winnings. 16 of those he scooped up, 7 ground balls in the Gals.
Let's talk about a little Washington College baseball. Benny Swarthmore scored 1 run in the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 1 in the 9th as well, to post a come from behind 6-3 victory over Washington College. Tancredi went 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and Ryan Zweier of Caravel 2 for 5 with a run scored there.
Once again, we want to say congratulations Dante DiVincenzo for being MOP of Monday night's NCAA championship game, and congratulations Trayvon Duvall as he has entered the NBA draft. Looking at the players of the week, we got 3 of them. 1 girl in Sydney Keeld from the junior from Caravel. 2 shutouts in her win over top 5 teams. She was goalkeeper for them. Of course, she had 6 saves and a 2-0 win over number 3 ranked Newark Charter, and 19 saves in a win 2-0 over Apple Portman.
And we had 2 really outstanding performers on the week on the boys' side, and we couldn't make a decision. We're giving out co-players of the week. First off, Zach Galoff, of senior pitcher from Cape Henlopen. What more could he have done? He threw 6 innings of no-hit ball while striking out 8. Not to mention 3 for 4 at the plate with 2 bombs, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored in a win over Lake. He had 2 hits, 3 runs scored, and 3 stolen bases in the game later that week. 10-0 win over Laurel. And then Jacob Poland, sophomore from MOT Charter. The goalie is off to a terrific 3-0 start this year. 36 saves in 3 games, posts a 2.66 goals against average, giving up only 7 goals in 3 games. So congratulations to both of those, all 3 of those players for players of the week. And once again, if you got anybody you want to nominate, send them right to us.
Yep, hit us up on social media. Of course, come out 136 the Astro Shopping Center in Newark. A reminder, Hodgson versus St. Elizabeth. We'll have that game from Weldon Field up for you at 1 p.m. Newark Charter versus Cesar Rodney is Saturday night at 7. They'll be live from Frawley Stadium. Now, we don't have any plays of the week, but we do have a video for you as we round out the show. A huge basketball project. Jalen Duran, 6'9", he's an 8th grader at Gunning Bedford Middle School. He played in one Journey Hoops Classic, and wait till you see the talent of this young man.
Yeah, your kid looks like he could be the next big deal coming out of the state of Delaware. You look at Dante, you look at Trayvon Duval. He's going to be the next guy coming through here. So we're unaware of where he'll be playing high school ball as of right now, but we know some schools going to be lucky to get his talents, and you're going to see that right here in these videos, Benny.
Before we, of course, play that video, we do want to say the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K is coming up this Saturday, 8 a.m.
Sign up.
Yes, for now, though, we leave you with the future of Delaware basketball.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready? Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
Wicked, 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 wicked. Wicked tones, you know what I'm saying? What's Metro Boomin want some more, nigga. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Metro Boomin want some more, nigga. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait. Metro Boomin want some more, nigga. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait. Metro Boomin want some more, nigga. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait. Wicked, 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 wicked. Wicked tones, you know what I'm saying? What's Metro Boomin want some more, nigga. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Hold up, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh. Wicked, wicked, wicked.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready? Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready? Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?